Good evening and a warm welcome to A Cook's Tour. And to kick things off before our Taste of Japan cook-along, I'm delighted to welcome back to the A Cook's Tour kitchen, Johan Svensson. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here, good to be here.
As ever, you have brought, well, some invigorating looking ingredients. What cocktail are you making for us this evening?
Well, we are going to do something really particular, inspired by Japanese flavors. So we're going to use sake, which is, the famous rice wine from Japan, flavors like yuzu, but also combining them with exciting local flavors like rose petals from Cornwall that we pickled in borage honey and things like that, and also a Scandinavian aquavit. So very exciting. So we're doing a wild rose and yuzu martini.
A martini?
Yes.
Well, that sounds wonderful, but forgive me if I'm sounding a bit ignorant, but I always thought a martini was gin or vodka and then vermouth.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of debate about how the martini came about, but it actually originally was made with quite a sweeter style gin known as Old Tom, and then it's evolved into the sort of dry martini that we know now, shaken or stirred, etc. So, but it essentially has a component of a spirit base like gin or vodka, and in this case I'm using aquavit, which is kind of our gin from Scandinavia, but instead of juniper it's got caraway as a predominant flavor. But this one's also got mulberries and rose petals. And then instead of using a vermouth, I'm using the sake, which is lower in alcohol, has a lovely sort of luscious mouthfeel and very distinctive flavor profile, and a little bit of yuzu zest instead of the citrus peel that some people might have with martini, and also a little bit of that rose. So it's got a lot of exciting flavors. But by making a martini, essentially it's all about keeping it dry and adding, as I said, a vermouth, or whether you like it wet or dry, etc. So the more vermouth it has, the wetter it is, and the less you have, the drier it is. So here I would say sort of slightly medium in flavor. But what you want to do is grab a big pint glass, or in this case I'm using a professional mixing glass. Lots of ice, because key thing here with ice is the more you have, the more you can control the dilution. The less you have, the quicker it melts. Yes. Because a martini is all about balance. So you should get a good 2 drinks out of this.
And in this bottle is the vermouth, it's the sake, everything.
There's no vermouth. It's exactly, it's the sake.
Aquavit,
yeah.
It's all been pre-mixed for you.
Exactly.
And in true form, with any drink that Johan creates at Drinks Fusion, you always use the most incredible ingredients, and you really go to the ends of the earth to source incredible spirits or homemade cordials. You go out and pick flowers and shrubs, don't you?
Yes.
Really
we try and keep everything handmade and properly handcrafted. And so just very quickly about stirring the martini. So stir it for about 10-15 seconds, and plenty of ice so it doesn't get too diluted. And what I do, if you feel here, you can feel it start getting cold above the line of the drink, sort of up here, then you know it's kind of ready. Yeah. So yes, about the ingredients, is exactly, that's a really, really big part of what we do. So for example, the wild beech rose petals picked in Cornwall last year, we pickled in borage honey and Chardonnay vinegar. And it's absolutely divine. It gives fantastic flavors. And the same with here as well. When the yuzu was in season back in December, we made a yuzu cello, which is a liqueur just like limoncello by using yuzus instead. So you have that fantastic, lovely, fragrant flavor coming out of it.
I love it. It's the attention to detail. It's the layers of love that go into your drinks, Johan. Is why we love what you do at Drinks Fusion.
Yeah, I want it to really be an experience, to taste something you haven't tasted before, and also, keeping all the natural ingredients. Yeah. So there's a couple of really important parts about the martini, the simplicity of it. So not over diluting it. If you think it's a little bit strong, you can stir it a little bit longer. So it's sort of your own preference. And then make sure it's very cold, so it becomes a nice journey as you drink it. Because as it gets warmer, you start tasting more of the flavors. So it really sort of evolves in the glass. So then I have a little bit of a magic thing here.
Oh, a little
Exactly. So this is a rose tincture. So we basically let the rose petals sit in neutral alcohol just to extract. So there's no sugars, anything like that. And it's all about catching a little bit of the...
Oh, is that how I do it?
Yeah, smell it.
Oh, I think I could wear that on a night out.
Exactly. A little bit of a spray over the drinks. Not sort of too close, maybe a little bit of distance. So they don't get sticky on the stems. And I'm using traditional Nick and Nora glasses here, which is an absolutely beautiful way of drinking martinis. You can use a classic straight up V shape or anything like that, but I just love the delicacy of these glasses.
And if you don't have super enlarged tweezers at home, I'm sure not many people do, you can pop your finger.
You can put your fingers in there, of course. It just looks a little bit, you know. And then these are pretty remarkable. So these are hand-pressed flowers and leaves that are left out to dry for about 2-3 days, and then they are pressed under pressure for about 48 hours. So that's how you get that beautiful, lovely, almost paper-like flowers, by keeping the beautiful.
It's well, it's beautiful. It's artistry, and
yeah, and it's also, you know, it's no waste. It's a great way. I mean, they're dry, they'll last forever.
right.
So there you go. I think you should taste it.
I'd very much like to.
And we keep one for Ryan here as well, so you
Yes.
get helping with the cooking. So
Yes, please.
is that good?
Wow. That is utterly delicious. Wonderfully balanced, a little bit dry, a little bit sweet, the wonderful sort of richness to the mouthfeel. And there's that sort of sake-ness that's sort of lurking in there, which is quite unusual.
Yeah, and I mean, sake is really Japan. And there's a whole science to sake. I mean, it basically comes from fermented rice. As a wine, but it's like the way you grind the rice to get, you know, to the core of the grain, and there's a whole science. Like it's you could be sake sommelier or etc. It's really fascinating, you know.
Well, it's utterly delicious and perfectly balanced and strong, but not too alcoholic. What is it, sort of 30%?
Yeah, something like that. I would say.
So I'll put hairs on my
30%, yeah,
but maybe not on my face.
No. Well, it depends how many you drink, but
well, maybe Johan.
I've had a few.
Well, look, Johan, thank you so much for joining us, and particularly since this is the season finale. We couldn't think of anyone that we'd rather have mixing a cocktail for the crew at a cook's tour. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And well, we look forward to seeing you in the autumn.
Look forward to being here.
And everyone at home, enjoy your cocktails, and in a few minutes, I will be back with Ryan Stafford to cook up a Japanese storm. See you shortly. Good evening and a warm welcome to a cook's tour with Rocket.
Vegetables, and as you can see, sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. And what I want to do is put the space there, top yolk right in the middle.
Good evening and a warm welcome to a cook's tour and to our next destination and last of this series, Taste of Japan. My name is Charlie Grant Peterkin and I'm delighted to be joined this evening by our sensei, Ryan Stafford.
Thank you very much and welcome everybody at home. Very excited, the most excited, not because I don't get to see you guys for a while, or you Charlie, but because Japan is the spot. It's where I want to be. Phenomenal, delicious food, and I can't wait.
Oh, well, look, this is it, Ryan, you see. I'm at Mount Fuji base camp when it comes to Japanese cuisine, okay? I know the difference between teriyaki and teppanyaki, okay? I love going out and eating Japanese food, but I don't know enough about creating the authentic Japanese flavors at home. And I tell you, the store-cupboard ingredients, they frankly scare me.
Really?
Yeah, so can you help me, and no doubt many at home as well?
I'm going to make this really, really easy, because unlike other parts of Asia, Japan's just got that moment of deliciousness that I love. It's got the salt from the soys, from the oysters, from the fermented kind of seaweed and wakame. You've got the umami coming in there, the magical umami, capital U on there in the wakame seaweed, in the misos and all the fermented things that I just mentioned as well, similar to the salt. And then acidity, rice wine vinegars, yuzus, ponzus, etc., etc. You know, it's absolutely delicious.
Ooh.
Tongue tingling goodness.
And it's the marriage of all those flavors.
It is.
It's going to bring it all to life.
Yeah. Does that mean you said you know your difference between teppanyaki and teriyaki? Are we edging up to a boys' night in here with you with your little prawns in your hat moment?
Oh yeah. Okay, so everyone at home, many of you probably know the rules by now, but a little bit of housekeeping for those who don't. Pop your ovens to 220, get those nice and hot, 220.
Yeah.
And as ever, you're welcome to cook along now, cook later, or even cook on Friday. And how are you doing, everyone, on Friday? So pleased that you are here to join us. We have the live chat, and Michael, as ever, is there to answer your questions.
Shall we do it?
Cheers, Michael.
Half of mine's gone. I don't know where that happened. When that happened even.
Oh, Johan, that is so good. Okay, so Michael is there to answer your questions, so please do post away. And there is the space bar, so please press pause if you need to by hitting the space bar, and then catch up by pressing it. That will release you. There's the booklet for those cook-along instructions to follow. And finally, get posting photographs of your creations, and Ryan will judge, and winners will get boxes to our next destination in the autumn. Okay, so please take photos. We love seeing what you do. Use those hashtags, Cook with Rocket at a Cook's Tour. Golly gosh, Ryan, what's on the menu tonight, sir?
So, do you know what? We haven't even started cooking yet. I can just hear this little sizzle, sizzle, bang, bang going on. We are on fire today. It's just because I never really quite learned how to use my hob. You know, the food's good. The hob is doing its own thing. So I've just turned this oil on low, and it's sizzling away, if you can hear that.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the food, so let's get back to the menu. So we have got incredible flavours also, as always, with the menu. We want to get into the moment of recognition to keep you guys safe and keep you excited, but also bring some new elements in there. So we'll start, we've got, well, in no particular order, we've got the miso cod. A delicious amount, beautiful. It's been curing by the time it gets to you for the best part of 24 hours minimum. And it's lightly cured, and the outside is going to get crispy and beautiful. Can't wait for that. You're going to see that right at the end. We've got some onglet, which we're going to do with some goma. We talked about that umami flavour, toasted sesame, lotus crisps. Going to be absolutely delicious, carpaccio style. It's one of my favourite dishes. We've got some salt and pepper beans, really cool Ryanism, eat your heart out, rocket special, a cook's tour. Wouldn't be the same without. It's going to be delicious. We're going to do that with some shallot and some beautiful crunchy chili crumb. And then the avocado rose. You've probably seen this. It's an Instagram moment. Dare I say it? I kind of hate that saying, but it's beautiful. Nice knife skills coming in. We're going to do some beautiful little avocado roses with some ponzu, some garden radishes to finish, and it's going to be delicious. And if you thought that was it, you're wrong. We have got a yuzu truffle vinaigrette, courgette and spinach salad that's going to blow your mind.
Wow.
Is that enough?
It certainly is. So 5 incredible dishes using ingredients which some of you have probably never cooked with at home before, or perhaps not even have heard of. So what a sort of exploration we're going to have into the taste of Japanese food. And we're going to start with the first dish. What's the plan, Chef?
So yeah, I'm just going to get rid of this little crackle. I'm sure one of my good friends who mentions that the sound quality is so good on the show, he's going to be loving that crackle in the background. Should go as the oil heats up. So first things first, we're actually going to work a little bit back to front. We're going to get, so one of our dishes is a salt and pepper. So we've got kind of like 5 spice. I know it's Chinese, but I think 5 spice works very well with Japanese flavors. And like I said, it's a Ryanism on the green beans, crispy tempura green beans. We've got a nice tempura, and we're going to learn a lot about tempura. So let's get those ingredients out. Come on.
Hey,
Creative department going
cash and wrap there.
off today,
Awesome.
over delivering. So we want to get some beautiful Japanese flag wrapped fine beans. In here is your tempura mix, absolutely amazing. You've got 100 grams in there. There's a little bit of 5 spice, a little bit of salt in there. All you need to do is add, we're going to add about 140 to 150 ml of cold water. We're going to work in a very unique way. So, Charlie, we're going to get a tray like so.
Yep.
We're going to get the water there. There's 150 there. We're just going to put it all in here, and then we're going to put it in the fridge or the freezer. And the reason we're going to do that is because you want an absolute, absolute cold, if not semi-freezing. You don't want to freeze the green beans, but in restaurants like Nobu, Zuma, and these kind of amazing places, you want the hot oil to have a big reaction with something cold.
Okay.
So you never want to throw ice in a fryer, as the saying goes. It's going to be disastrous. However, you do want to have some cold beans with some ice cubes. I don't expect everyone to have ice cubes. So we're going to try and replicate that by chilling the water, chilling the bean, to try and get it really chilled. We'll make the batter and we'll put them into the hot oil, and we'll get some of that reaction that we're talking about.
Okay, cool.
Does it make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Okay, so everyone at home, you need 140 to 150 mils of water.
Get 100.
You're putting it into a dish like this, and then we're going to chuck the beans in.
We are indeed. So, just going to show you as well. I like to do a bit of a cheat way. I'm a professional chef, but always about the easy route if it's not going to be in exchange for quality. So, you want all these nice little fluffy ends, if you can see those. Absolutely beautiful, nothing wrong with those. Then you want to kind of like get all the, what would you call these? Beanie bits.
The beanie bits.
Beanie bits,
Stalky ends.
Stalky ends, and just kind of tap them so they flatten out.
Okay.
So we can get a nice even cut. And we want to get a nice serrated knife, or your favourite knife, or your potato peeler, or just your teeth if you're feeling, if you're feeling like you're in the zone and you're like, I don't need no knife, Mr. T moment, and bang, all off in one move. Nice little skill in there. Water goes over the top. And then if you just want to throw them over into the fridge, Charlie.
Into the fridge.
But basically, they are going to go into the fridge and they're going to chill, and we're going to come back to those later with this tempura flour. So pop that aside, then onto the next dish. Get your pans on now. We're going to go into this dish, I mean, fish and meat together, the whole surf and turf. I think the way we're going to present this. I love that. Yeah, the way we're going to present this, Charlie, at the end is going to be a looks moment to remember. It's going to be like, 5, well, I say small plates, very generous at Cook's Tour. It's going to be 5 large plates, lots of choice, lots of colour, but you're going to have the steak moment, you're going to have the cod moment, it's going to be salty, it's going to be sweet, crunchy, we're going to be there. So pans on.
Okay, so frying pan on the hob, on the heat.
Nice and hot. Now let's talk about some of these ingredients. So, Charlie,
and then we're going in for the beef omelette.
We are. So the beef omelette. Goma dressing, spoons out, tourists, chefs, beautiful people, as always, get trying, because we've talked about dressings, we've talked about, the magic moments. Dressings bring Japanese food together. You talk about, have a try that. And at home, get your spoon, get your chops. I want to say get your little finger in there, but I kind of hate that.
Oh, yes.
Talk to me, what are the layers in there, what are the textures, the creaminess,
It's sort of rich, it's creamy, there's sort of, I want to say it's sort of like is it sesame seedy vibe?
It is. Well, goma is sesame, so you've got tahini in there, you've got sesame oil.
Tahini, that's what I really noticed.
A little bit of soy, a little bit of miso, and they're all singing together saying, we're here. Do not worry, flavour has arrived. That's the dressing to finish. Just straight away, salivating.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Coriander shoots there to finish. Lotus crisps. Charlie, would you be an absolute dream?
Yeah.
Open nose. And I just want to work with you guys at home because these have been in storage and are a bit temperamental, like all crisps and biscuits in the cupboard. They can go soft. They're fresh. They've been made, 24, 72 hours. Just get one of those in the chops and just try it and just
so
see. Is it chewy? Does it need a moment? Is it still crunchy?
Yeah, it's still crunchy.
Well, that's perfect. And if you're getting that experience at home, pop them aside. If not, if you're a bit like, hey, mine's actually a little bit wobbly, it's to do with the sugar content. Fighting the crispiness, you get the sugar crispy. Sometimes when they're packaged, they lose that. So just pop them on a tray or a plate, oven safe, for about 30 seconds max in that oven that's been preheated now for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
30 seconds, just going to refresh those. They'll come out soft and pop them on the side and they'll re-crisp up. It's a good little tip.
Yeah, top tip.
So, the pan's on, we are rocking, and then we've got Lotus Crisp, Goma, and Japanese food, Charlie. I don't know how much, you said you know teppanyaki from your teriyaki.
It's somewhere I've never visited. It's definitely on the wish list, but it's a country that you've spent some time in, isn't it?
I was telling you a story just before we started filming. I don't know if I can tell the guys, and plus you've been here all day anyway. But I've been Nagano where the Winter Olympics were. All over the place. Absolute cultural dream, Japan. It's got everything. Weather, mountains, people, modern, traditional, all there, and the food is exactly the same. So onglet, here we are. All those cultures, all those things in Japan, but we find ourselves here with some onglet. Why onglet? Because it's the chef's cut, it's the butcher's cut, the pan's on. We've got the steak moment going on here. It's from the diaphragm. So the beast, I'm going to use myself. All fours like this, cows moving around, giving it an old moo.
Go on, give us a moo.
No. Snapping away on the grass-fed in this country, the most delicious grass in the whole world. All those nutrients go straight into producing brilliant meat like this. And then a chef like myself picks this cut, which is going to work because it's tender, it's soft. You either braise it for a long time or sear it very little, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to sear it and eat it like a carpaccio.
Oh, yes.
And get all those flavours, all that texture. So we just want to pop it in to a pan with a touch of oil.
So a little bit of oil. Is that olive oil or just a...
Just neutral oil. I'm going to say that. Sunflower. Get the old flora out.
Okay.
Olivio. What's it called? Olivio. I just remember the advert. Olivio. But basically, pop that in there. Bit of sizzle. As you know, I like very much. And neutral oil, rapeseed, sunflower, vegetable oil, whatever. Don't really want to use we're going to be quite aggressive here with what we're doing. Olive oil is going to tarnish a little bit. I do like cooking with olive oil.
And you're looking to get some colour on all sides, but fundamentally it's going to be blue or red at least in the middle. Yeah.
So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to carry this dish all the way through. So here's our plate. We're going to carry it all the way through. Do you think we should?
Yeah.
So we're just going to sear it, and like I said, we're trying to sear the outside, and what we're going to get is that Maillard reaction. The professor that came up with, why does bacon taste so good? Well, it crisps up. Why does chicken roasting have that nostalgic roast dinner? And it's the same. It's the professor that came up with it was he recognised the caramelisation of natural sugars in meat, in vegetables. Charcoal vegetables are the same. And that's what we're looking for, the Maillard reaction. Heston plays on it quite a lot when he designs dishes and experiences. But we're going to crust it up, get that Maillard brown, caramel colour on the outside, that crispy bacon moment. And then we're going to take it out. It's going to be raw in the middle. We're going to slice it, cutting through the grain, as we've talked about in past destinations. So it's really tender.
Will you need to rest it at all?
No, not really. Because we're not cooking it through. We're not tightening that muscle up. Okay. We're not asking too much of it. We're just getting a little bit of heat around the outside.
And I noticed too, you haven't salted it. You're just letting it do its thing in the pan. You haven't touched it, moved it around.
I'm going to do my Matt moment because Charlie, we're there now. We're comfortable, but basically because we've got so much salt in there, that umami plays a soak role. So
that's where you're getting the seasoning.
Fermentation happens when something is salted or it's fermented to a point where the natural salts become quite prevalent in flavour. We're looking for lotus crisp texture. We're looking for fragrance and freshness from the coriander and shoots. Coriander shoots, baby, at their most nutritional, rich state. They're just going to freshen up the dish, and they got bam, on we go with some amazing kind of dressing. Nobu Matsushiba, the guy behind the 30+ restaurants of Nobu around the world, says in one of his first books, it's not me that is the genius here, it's the dressings that we create in the restaurants. We take cold, hot temperatures, different textures, ice with cold fish, for example. And then we add these dressings and it ties everything together and just makes the experience
I see that big
one to remember, yeah.
So where did you sort of learn your craft or your understanding of Japanese food? Was it from travels or eating in restaurants, or have you worked in?
Some really, really strange experiences in Japan, just in terms of, you know, if you could imagine somebody from Japan who didn't speak a word of English just walking up to you now, asking you something simple like, hey, I'm going to the Shard with my family. Do you know where I can get the lift up to the 19th floor?
Yeah.
You'd probably, in Japanese, you'd probably be like, wow, like, it's not like going to Spain where 1 in 3 people speak English. So I went there, my experiences were really contrasted. The flavours at the age of 21, some years back now, were incredible, yeah. And the food tasted, the texture, the noodles, the broths. I got served the bento box in one restaurant, and I came in and said, oh, could we have a table? And the guy pointed at a vending machine. And we kind of gathered that you put money in, press a button with a picture on, give the token to the guy,
Brilliant.
and him, like a robot, would make something for you. It came with some raw eggs, some broth, some raw meat, and I started eating the raw eggs thinking that was what you did, and he came over saying, no, you put it in the hot broth. So it kind of like scrambles and stuff. So yeah, it was just an exciting thing, and I think from that at 21, then perfecting my craft over the years. In essence, yeah. I mean, who doesn't like Japanese food?
Well, that's it.
Chinese food, Malaysian food.
But it's having the understanding and the confidence to be able to cook it at home. And talking about bento boxes, I notice on my sort of board, which, you know, prompts me to prompt you, that there was a note about chili.
Love that.
And spring onion. So everyone at home has got this beautiful bento box full of fresh ingredients.
The spring onion.
The spring onion and the chili.
Pop it in the pan.
Pop it in the pan.
Chili, pop it in the pan. And there should be some, is there some garlic? You just passing out garlic clove over there.
Yep.
I love that, Charlie. Charlie, you actually listen to me when I talk. It's true.
So there's a garlic clove. What's the plan with that?
So the plan is that this is going to be a beautiful garnish for the wax beans that are kind of like dark night here. You're like, what's going on? We put them in the fridge or the freezer. He's going to tell us about it later.
Oh, okay.
They're salt and pepper wax beans, which have never been heard of anyway. And now he's telling us to throw this in the pan. It's very mysterious. Well, yeah, rightly so. Just follow along. It'll all make sense at the end. 2 garlic cloves. Very, very kind with the budget. Save that for your garlic prawns tomorrow night.
So 2 cloves, the spring onion, chili in the pan alongside your omelette, which, looking at Ryan's, is coming on nicely. Some good colour on there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's probably, what are you doing? So 2 to 3 minutes aside?
Yeah, I've just been messing around with it, really. What we want to do is just, we just really want to caramelise it up. I've been trying to sit it on its side, but it doesn't really want to play ball, so I'm going to work with it and not against it. Sometimes you do that, you've got to work with the ingredients like they're almost living. So just take the little stems off there.
Okay.
Take the little stems off, and then we just want to...
Very thin slices, if you can.
Yeah. Does it get a bit when I start looking at you, looking at the camera, and everyone's like, does he ever take his fingers off?
Oh, there we go.
Not really. Years of experience.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to sing for this amount of time as well. Only happens in the shower. So, garlic goes in. We want to toast that garlic. And
danger of them burning, the garlic, little chaps in there?
Not cool, but we want to toast them up. We want to be a little bit aggressive.
So we're going to keep an eye on it?
Yep. So, here we go. I'm quite happy. Quite happy with that.
Yeah. Can I get you something to sit and rest in, or are you going to... What do you think?
I'll use this tray.
Yeah, why not?
So, you said rest. We can let it rest for a minute. Of course we can. Now what we want to do is the spring onion. Spring onions are fantastic. People look at them, especially in Asia. Chefs look at them in Asia, and they don't look at them as a cooking onion. They look at them as a finishing onion, especially the tops. Fresh spring onions, some new potatoes, etc. On a salad works perfectly. So we're not going to focus on cooking it. We just want to toast it a little bit. Yeah. The same with this garlic. I mean, smell that.
It smells great.
It was so charismatic. I just wither to the floor whenever I smell garlic. My missus always says, "Oh, what vegetables do you?" I say, chili, garlic, lemon. She's like, again, but it connects with me. Garlic's one of those things.
Garlic's one of those things, isn't it? It's the sort of a store cupboard essential. It goes in everything. Now, what is it with you and Johan and these oversized tweezers? Because, I mean, I get it with Johan and his drinks, but that's the first time I've ever seen garlic being prodded by a tweezer.
I just felt that with the chopstick moment today that it would look good. Does it not look good?
No, it does.
So basically, no, it's refinement. So if you go like that with your hands, when you're a chef and you actually start doing intricate stuff like cress, it's amazing how big your hands can actually feel. You start feeling like you've got like these big kind of tree trunk hands. So this allows you to have the precision almost when you're writing with a nice fountain pen. Once you get used to them, and you start holding them like this, they become very refined. You can snap little pieces off the crest and stuff. And once you get used to them, yeah, they become something that's quite nice to use. So that's it. So we're just going to pop that on the tray, and we'll take the beef and we'll use that later. So look at the garlic, still semi-raw. We want that. We want that obnoxiousness. We want that rawness. We want that in-your-face flavour of saying, hey, I'm garlic and I'm here. We're looking for bold flavours.
That's smelling really good. Brilliant.
Choice of knives, ready to do surgeries today, aren't we? Look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about it months ago in the amazing From Venice with Love. Love Venice.
Yeah, Venice with Love.
We did a beautiful carpaccio now with some amarena cherries, etc. We talked about the importance, so you can see that's very, very rare. It's just getting bouncy, which means it's probably a nice rare, probably looking about 35 degrees in there. A nice rare to eat as a steak starts at about 42, 45, a nice medium rare, 52 degrees Celsius. I'd say from all my experience, that bounciness is still quite raw in there is what we need. Now look at these
grains.
Those grains going like that with my knife, so hold that there.
Yeah.
They tell me off in the studio sometimes, waving it around with my chefy excitement. So all the grains are going that way, which means we want to cut that way. Yeah. Why? Not going to talk about the panda moment again. But pandas chew for a long time, and humans are not far behind pandas. If you don't cut or slice your steak properly, you just take away 6-7 chews, which gives it more luxuriousness. Luxuriousness?
Yes.
We're going to have that. Okay.
So everyone cutting across the grain.
Yeah.
And I mean, that looks to me like 1/2 centimetre. So sort of as thin as you can go, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So I'm actually slicing it away from me just so you guys can see it a little bit more. Doesn't have to be too thin. You know, you see carpaccio, like they almost like sear it off, freeze it, and then slice it on a slicing machine. You know, out in Japan, if you're having tataki, as they call it, which is like raw, almost carpaccio, thinly sliced meat. Like you get beef tataki, tuna tataki, not to be confused with teriyaki or teppanyaki. You expert over there. I'm excited though. Been to your house once, twice. Excited to come again. I can taste the prawns now.
I'll lay on a Japanese feast for you.
So, absolutely perfect. Just going to dance a few of these around the plate. You know, usually we're just working in straight lines, just because. But today we're just going to work in kind of like just off little lines here, and just be really welcoming to the plate. So every time you come, you kind of feel there's 10 individual kind of little mouthfuls of deliciousness just waiting to be gobbled up. Move those around. And it's not raw, is it? It's just incredibly rare, but perfectly fresh beef.
But if you wanted, you could cook it a bit longer, couldn't you, if you weren't?
You could, but don't take it past the medium. So you're looking on here, you've got raw in the middle, you've got a medium rare here and a well on the outside. It just starts going a little bit like that chewy Irish stew moment, and you just don't want that. This is so luxurious like this. Just gonna pop that over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's clean this up.
I love when it's sort of all colours. I think there's a in the States it's called Chicago. I think when it's blue in the middle and it's sort of burnt to a crisp on the outside, and you have,
I love that.
you know, the whole way.
They cook them in these ovens called Jospers.
Yeah.
Jospers, it's gone now. I had a burn here from a Josper.
Ouch.
What are you doing? What is this? Like some witch's cauldron kind of thing. But yeah, they're about 400 degrees Celsius. You know, so you think about, you blow glass and bend metal at like 600-700.
Yeah.
You're putting a piece of flesh in there. Incredible.
Ouch.
Okay.
Okay,
So just going to dance a little bit of this over, so every mouthful is clinically the same and the same experience. And if you love it, you're going to go back and you're going to get that over and over again.
Yeah.
Now, this is rich. It's bouncy on the palate, it's creamy, it's nutty, it's umami. What else would you want?
Umami, that's a sort of, it's a mysterious word, isn't it? It's sort of thrown around with sort of Japanese cuisine. What does it really mean?
What does it really mean? Umami. So umami is a natural occurring salt. It's a natural occurring salt that is, well, naturally occurring. So you get it in wakame. So when they take the wakame and they dry it in the sea.
Yeah.
Well, it's from the sea, it's got the salt in it, and they dry it. And not only does it come, it's almost, you get umami from monosodium glutamate, which is the MSG that people fear as well. Lots of studies, it's banned in a few countries because they think that it brings on certain illnesses.
What are your views on that?
It's delicious. I'm going to carry on eating it. So, got a beautiful, beautiful little plate that I've just made a little bit of a mess of. Just tidy that up. And we just want to dance some of this cress over here. And you know, this is for 2 people, but I just wanted to plate it a little bit different today. And just get that coriander. The coriander's not to look pretty. All these elements on here just work.
I mean, it adds sort of colour and vibrancy, but it's there for flavour as well, isn't it?
It is there for
that's
flavour.
going to give you that sort of the aromat.
And all my experience in my professional career is saying, squeeze some lime on it, Ryan.
Oh, really?
Squeeze some lime on it. It's going to be delicious. But the rest of the menu doesn't need it. We've got ponzus, yuzus to come.
Okay.
So I want this to be that. Need some Diet Coke after the French fry moment. And you're going to go to the next dish and be satisfied with that. And it's a journey around what we're doing. Okay.
There we go.
So there we go.
There we go. First dish.
Absolute beautiful plate. That could go. You could put it in the fridge if you wanted to. I don't like eating fridge cold meat. I like room temperature. It's how the Japanese do it. So if you're already nibbling it, enjoy, bon appetit. If you're not, leave it there to look beautiful, and we will move on to the next masterpiece.
So the avocado radish.
So we're going to use that cress as well. Save a little bit of it. We've given you more than what you need, and the dressing here as well. Do go to town on the plates if you want to. I think that's the perfect
I'm picking out of the bento box of veg the radish, because those are next up. And what a
why
lovely little bunch of radish.
I might just have a little sip.
Yeah, well, why don't you? What a lovely bunch of radishes you have there.
Last show of the series, you know, we've worked hard. Why not?
Yeah, and some avos. You've got a thing for avos. I noticed too that you talk about king avos, but this is the emperor avocado salad. So, I mean, what is going on with this salad to sort of reach emperor status?
Well, it's something that actually I don't find a lot of my work on the internet. However, I was looking at some salads in a book that I've got. And this guy called him an emperor, and he said he respects these in the fruit. He's a Japanese chef that lives in London, and he respects alligator pears, as he called them, as emperor of all fruit when it comes to Japanese cooking. Sort of stole the name, simple as. But yeah, King Avos are a brand. They're a type of avocado that's just beautiful and incredible. Please be good inside. Please be good inside. Okay, here we go. You ready? After all that chat, please be good inside. It's that moment, isn't it? Like, is the bread rising? Should we check the oven?
Yeah.
Turn off the oven, come.
Well, Marianne's awesome soufflés, they rose, and your avos are looking gleaming.
Yeah, they're absolutely incredible. Now, this is the Instagram moment that we talked about. We're getting all the easy dishes, technical, but ones we can do first. Should we do 4? We'll do 2 each.
Okay.
Would you like to pick your weapon of choice, Mr. Charlie?
Yeah, you look at this. This is like a sort of a samurai sword.
This is a proper samurai sword. Now,
how do we get those out safely? Because I'm not fancy doing that with your sharp Japanese steel.
So you become as one. I talked about the tweezers. They do become like your third hand kind of thing.
Should you do it with a spoon?
Yeah, just you can do, but you damage the avo. Just if you get your hands out of the way and you cup, and if you look at that, use the heel.
Okay.
Look where the hand is. It's really where. If you're like, hey, this is amazing, watch this, bang.
Then tripped in any.
Don't want to see you down at St. George's, yeah, of course. Okay. So we want to. There you go.
Yeah.
That's yours. You've got your knife. Let's do this together. Avocado rose. It's all in the name. It's going to be a rose. Why do we do it? Because it looks pretty. It's going to gather the dressing in a place where we want it, but also it's also paying homage to kind of like the nigiri and the sashimi. I've done a few dishes for a few clients over the years and on events when I've worked Japanese food, where I've sliced it very, very thin like the beef and treated it like a piece of fish. Let's look after the vegans, Charlie. Vegans
Always.
are our friends. I'm a modern chef. I love the modern vegan. I'm here for you guys. do not worry with these flavors as well. And why should people with specialized diets miss out on beautiful food? So I think this is a nice way of saying, hey, our vegan friends, meat eaters alike, come, we have avocados and raw beef. Let's do it. Let's be really bold with these Japanese flavors.
Okay. So everyone at home, get peeling your avos.
Yep. And I think the thing about peeling an avo is,
yeah, what's the trick?
Get messy and just use your thumb.
Okay.
So if you see here,
you're just sort of coaxing it.
Use your thumb, yeah. Don't, what's going on? People are like, oh yeah, look, I can do it like this with a spoon. Send me a picture. Trust me, it never works out well. I've done it with a spoon for years until somebody showed me how incredible it can be like this.
Oh, I think I got this one off in one.
Wow, look at that. Getting good at this.
Yeah, there we go. Well, it's after 18 destinations.
Really?
14
That's where we're at.
with yourself. I think I'm sort of learning a thing or two in the kitchen.
So, Charlie, pop one aside. For this dish, by the way, we're going to need some radishes, guys. We're going to need the ponzu. and the chili crumb is for later.
Okay.
So, ready?
Yep.
I'm going to get the knife on an angle, and we just want to, this knife always sticks.
Ah, I see.
So just, you can do it, the thinner you do it, the better it's going to be. If you start failing fast, you still want an avocado rose. Stop and do it chunkier. Yeah, that would be my advice. So,
Okay. So as thin as
I
you can go.
personally felt, there's going to be one person out there that's like, my avocado is just not perfect. I've tried. I've felt all your avocados. I've tried as hard as I can. 18 years experience. I felt your avocados. They are delicious. And I'm hoping you're having this experience now. But if not, call Charlie and complain, and we'll get you another avo. This is what we're looking for. Yeah?
So at a slight angle,
Yeah. And use the tip of the knife. We're talking
using the tip of the knife.
that part of the knife. Yeah. As the knife gets fatter down here, it takes more of your arm. And you want to be using, yeah, your kind of wrist for this, not the old shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Delicate
Okay.
process. Ladies and gents, we need to treat it
Oh, et voila.
with a little bit of love. That's fine. If the end bits go, that's fine.
Yep.
And then, Charlie,
Okay.
we're going to do our Paul Daniels dynamo moment, and we're going to reveal
Oh.
big, long kind
okay.
of. Well, what we're going to do is basically just fanning it out, pretty much.
Just fanning it out.
big bit of hype at the beginning. Now, the more we can keep it together and fan it out, the better.
That's like a sort of a dragon roll.
It's exactly how they start a dragon roll.
Mm.
And you know, it's got. This is going to be the dish that's, you know, beautiful. The beef's like, oh, I'm beef, I'm ready. Look at my flavour. You know, I'm all raw and stuff, delicious. But this is the one that's going to be like, hey, I'm Mr. Delicate.
A little bit dainty.
getting
It's a
in-
rose. It's an
getting in-
avocado rose.
Yeah, I'm getting in the zone too much there. Like, it's going to be delicious.
Very good. Okay.
I want it to be longer and longer. Please be the best. Okay, so we're going to do that,
Yep.
and then we're going to roll like
Any
this.
particular side?
Now, as it comes to here, you put your hand here, and then just push it in here as you're still rolling, and that's going to be the starting point. If you get that bit right, that's going to bring everything together in a real nice way. And if it breaks like that, just carry on rolling. Have confidence. This is going horribly wrong. It's going horribly wrong. I've done about 1,000 of these. Okay, and then we're just going to carry on rolling. We're going to save it, Ryan.
Come on.
Carry on rolling.
Bring it back. Yeah.
Bring
that's
it back.
Great.
Professional. Do it for all the other chefs. Bang.
Avocado rose.
So, purposely
Avocado
done. Not
rose.
really. I really did ruin it at the beginning. Do it,
Okay.
ruin it, recognise it, bring it back, get an avocado rose at the end.
I'm spreading. I also took that sort of the avocado rolling stance.
You're totally going to boss it and do a better one than me. It's going to be, look at the stature.
Oh, well, I know,
Just some
exactly.
little moment. Like, come on, Charlie, come on. Just
Oh,
needed somewhere
come on,
to wipe
here
my
we go.
avocado hand, sorry.
Oop. Okay, here we go. Let's have that.
This is looking good.
Yeah, promising. Hey, promising.
Looking better than mine.
Promising.
Always the way though, right? Always the way. Try making 1,000 of those, Charlie. Try making 1,000.
It's like teaching someone a card game, isn't it? They always beat you first time.
Yeah. I played poker 3 times, been taught 3 times and won 3 times. Don't know how to play poker.
Okay.
So, beautiful
Beautiful
plate
aloe
here.
roses. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's pop them on the plate here. We got 4 coming tonight. This is generous. What's going on? You'll be eating lunch tomorrow as well, I think. So, yeah, let's get a big knife. This
What are you
one.
thinking?
Yeah, and then just have that moment. Let's go centre.
Yeah.
Shall
Shall I put
we
mine
do
there?
another one each while the guys are
Yeah, why not?
smashing it at home?
Okay. Let's go again. Come on.
Yours is really better than mine.
Well, come on.
Okay, this is it. This is me.
Okay, I'm gonna race you. Oh wow! Suddenly, the moment I say it's a race, Ryan goes quiet for the first time in 14
Game face.
cook-alongs.
Game face.
Come on, here we go. I'm gonna get that.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's actually a full
no,
race.
this is a race, man.
Slice
This is a race. This is a race. No. We're going the whole way.
What is it? Quality though as well? Because
Oh, yeah,
you're
yeah,
throwing
yeah,
something
yeah.
together, beating me.
Quality, and just precision and speed.
Oh, I've got it.
And general, what would you say? General sexy.
Yes, that's better. That
actually,
is
you know
better.
what? That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I'll give you that.
The heavens came when I needed them. There we go. Got a little sweat on
I've
there.
slightly
Having a
faltered.
little drink.
I've slightly faltered, but we made it. Great.
Perfect. Look at that. Yes. That was good. So, what we
wipe
have
my
done is
spoon
we've showed the 4 elements of avocado rose there. 4 completely different ones, all worthy of the rose.
Yes. number one, definitely, without question.
Absolutely delicious. So let's tie this beautiful dish up. Really simple, really buttery. I very much look at avocados as being like the vegetable butter. You know, they're so dreamy. I write on our prep list sometimes when we're doing events, avocado butter. So the chefs say, "What's avocado butter?" And I say, "Smooth like butter. Make it beautiful." It's just so perfect when it's nice and smooth, especially when it's really nice and ripe also.
Okay, so grab your radishes, folks, and what do you just took off the tail?
Yeah, just slice, get some nice discs. Now, because you get a smooth butter texture that we're talking about, just want to get some nice little pieces here.
We've got white radishes.
Some white radishes. I just chop the little rooty bit off.
Yeah.
And then just get some nice little kind of...
You're chopping that one in half.
Just some little wedges.
Okay.
Just some different shapes. You know, you've got sweet,
sizes,
buttery avo,
textures.
peppery, crunchy radish. And I like to leave the tops on, very edible as well. These are all nice and washed as well for you. Should be nice and clean as a caterpillar crawls off. Not really. We're very, very prone to the, you know.
That's fabulous, that one.
Beautiful, isn't it? I mean, look at those. Heirloom, heritage, whatever you call, just natural radish they should be. They were never just pink. Someone just said the pink ones will sell. Let's sell those. And here we are coming back with some incredible ingredients. Dance these around. Are they to look pretty? No, I've just explained that they're peppery, they're crunchy, they're going to work with that textural experience against a soft, buttery, sweet texture of the avocado. Just want to pop some of these on here.
So have some fun at home, everyone.
Do
Plate
have
away.
some fun, yeah. Get some of those colours on there. Don't cover up the whole rose, but just get some of those beautiful colours in there. And the reason why the chefs, oh, like chef, you're putting it everywhere, they do it because we want you to not really think about what you're eating and get the maximum experience from those textures. And anybody that just eats, fair enough, you just eat. But if you want an experience and you're like, wow, that was so ripe and soft and beautiful, well, a little bit of thought's gone into delivering that. That's what you guys are doing, professional chef work at home. And Charlie, with your incredible roses that you brought to the plate. So,
Okay.
a couple of radishes to go with all your goma sauce that you've got left. And a ponzu dressing. Give it a little shake. A little Jamie moment. What was it? Crashed, didn't it? Flavour shaker. It's gone. Here, Jamie Oliver, I never use this. But, because we can just shake it in a jar, can't we?
That's true.
Yeah. But what have we got here? We've got ponzu salsa. It's got all the salsa ingredients in there. We've got shallot, we've got tomato, we've got chili, a little bit of garlic, and then ponzu. Ponzu is classically made with citrus or acidity with soy. So ponzu was designed to go with fish because it was too aggressive, just as soy. So then we've mixed it up and put some of those elements in there that are going to be very much delicious to make it a bit more of a salad.
Oh, look at that. That is
There we go.
magic.
And then just look at that. We talked about that beef before being so meaty and creamy and umami, and then zingy, smooth, crunchy. See where we're going.
Yeah, okay.
Let's pop those over there for a minute.
Pop those out of the way. Great, so that's our second delicious dish.
Amazing.
And moving on to the third.
We do. So those pans that we talked about, mine is still on, absolutely racing away. Tell me that isn't a good courgette, Charlie.
It's a beautiful courgette and it's yellow.
It's a delicious courgette. And what we're going to do with
what are
this...
we doing? We're making the spinach and courgette yuzu salad. So you've got your
We are.
bento box with lovely spinach leaves, yellow courgette. Any other ingredients our chefs at home need to have ready?
No. So we've... we just... Still with it. It's a cocktail just kicking in. It's delicious. So here we go. So we've got some crispy Parmesan shallots. Try those,
Yeah, love
Charlie.
to.
And then we've got, again, shaky. And then the pan's on getting hot
Yum.
on the way. I just get so lost.
Hot
in the
pan, hot
flavours.
pan, hot pan.
Hot pan. Get your spoon,
And that's the yuzu.
one of your 500
I've got
spoons,
several spoons over here.
and just try this. Tell me what the secret
This is
ingredient
yuzu
is.
dressing, is it?
There we go.
Hello.
Got that moment, yes.
Wow. Oh, it's delicious. It gets you.
Yes.
Gets you there, doesn't it?
It does, and again, that's what all this food's about. So we just want to have some nice little pillars of the courgette. Now, yellow courgette's a bit funny. You get these kind of, looks bruised, still very, very firm. Feel that? Fresh as. Very, very firm. For some reason, you always get this, as soon as it's picked, the sugars and the starch start changing, you get a bit of oxidization. Just with yellow courgettes. Do not fear.
So you're sort of just, you're cutting them sort of roughly, but in a sort of a triangular shape.
Yeah, we're going to get some little pillars of the Japanese temples
Aha.
Bit of dad chat, really, wasn't it? Just pop those in the hot pan. Notice that I didn't clean the pan from the moment that we had
With the omelette and
because the pan is flavoured. You know, in China, the wok was designed so that it was over aggressive heat, cooking, and they could steam clean it. So they literally ladle. If you've ever seen in like Yuatra or a few restaurants, they ladle hot water after they've cooked the dish. The ultimate sizzle. Sizzle beyond any sizzle. Just strips the pan, yet over time just embeds flavour into the metal because the metal's not treated. So the heat and the water steaming cleans it, a bit like a car wash, bang, but over time you get a flavour in that metal. Amazing.
There you go. Things you learn, hey?
Like the chopping board, really.
Yeah, a bit like our chopping board. Yeah.
So basically, we're just going to sizzle these, get a little bit of oil in there.
Okay. So hot pan, yeah.
And all we want to do as well, I like a bit of raw courgette. We're just going to, these will blacken up really fast. And all we want to do, you see already, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
But we want to eat these raw as well. I think the thing about Japanese cooking, we talked about what are the pillars, what are the flavours, umami, soy, acidity, the main ones. But it's also a textural experience like I talked about with the restaurant at Nobu. And eating raw vegetables, you often see raw radish, raw carrot, raw leaves, quite cold or hot. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have some spinach that's going to be wilted for moments in here, but we're also just going to get some flavour onto the face of the courgettes. Plate it, and then with the garnish.
And is this one of these salads that you, again, eat at room temperature?
Yep.
Yeah.
All of this food, apart from the cod that will come out hot at the end, that's what's great. I mean, if you guys have been out to some fantastic restaurants, as I have, and you have, Japanese, and all these little plates come out, it's really exciting. That's what we're trying to achieve here. So as you can see as well, turn it upside down.
A bit of colour on there.
That's all we want. Start flipping those over.
Oh, it's not taking long.
No. And as well, oil, because you've got lots of sugar in a courgette. Where is
Ready
my
for
oil?
a bit more oil?
Yep. Not too much, we don't want a greasy kind of finish.
And Parmesan doesn't seem that Japanese to me.
I'm glad you picked up on that. Here we go, because it's umami.
Oh.
So they do add salt to the finishing rind. When you make Parmesan, they make the cheese, they add the rennet, they split the whey, and then they press it, and then they actually make the shape of the Parmesan wheel, and then they dip it in salt. However, there's natural occurring salt in the cheese, and as that quality of Parmesan is measured, just tell you this little story while we're cooking those courgettes away, is measured when the Parmesan master, I don't know what this guy would be called, tries a Parmesan, they tap it, and they hear for the hollowness, which is a dehydration of over time, sometimes 12, 18, 36 months. They listen for the sound, but also I was taught when I was in the what's it called? Not the Reggiano, the district. What it's called?
Gosh, I don't know. Somewhere in Italy.
In central Italy, anyway, near Bologna and Modena, they basically say that salt crystals are a sign of purity and the quality of the diet of the cow that produced the milk.
I see.
So again, kind of like Parmesan with those salt crystals represents that natural occurring salt, umami. That's why it's here, and it works with all these.
So that's
truffle.
Flavour enhancement you're looking for.
And we can keep going. Truffle.
Yeah.
Umami.
Yes.
All mushrooms, beetroots, marmite, natural occurring salts from broths, etc. Shallots with onions as well. Once they're fried, they have a natural umami take to them. The chemical reaction. So again, ploughing that with truffle, yuzu zinginess, soy, umami, just works with this kind of like sweet, grassy spinach and beautiful courgette. Full of the knowledge today. I feel like I'm offering a lot.
It's sort of a download, isn't it?
So passionate about this kind of food. What should we go? Should we go on this beautiful plate over here?
Yes.
That would be incredible.
There's one with a sort of a cactus on it, or there's this one here.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Okay, then that one.
And then we'll do the cod on there.
We'll do the cod on there. Perfect.
That's nice. Loving the bento box.
Me too.
Amazing. Okay, so.
Okay, so you've got the colour on there.
Spinach.
Spinach.
Straight in. We're not trying to cook it. Just want a
little wilt.
Little wilt.
Okay.
We're going to do that. You see that? A little bit of water in the hot fat. You're not ready yet. That's good. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Got away with that one.
Yeah, we're a bit careful there.
So you just want to see a little bit of heat. It is a room temperature one. The courgettes are going to naturally wilt it. We don't want to wilt the spinach so much that it kind of wilts all of its liquid out of there. We're going on this one, yeah?
Yeah, those spinach leaves are wonderful. They're sort of how spinach should be.
So,
see too much baby leaf spinach, I think, these days.
Yeah, so these are organic rooted spinach, and you'll see that on your description on the box. And why they're rooted? Well, just like vine tomatoes, they get picked and still on the vine. Take about a week or two for those tomatoes to recognise they've been disconnected from the mother plant. So they stay fresh, the sugars stay prevalent, and the starches don't come in to give you a tasteless tomato.
Really?
Exactly the same with peas. Bird's Eye have been doing it for years. Our peas are frozen within 40 minutes of picking.
Yes.
So they say. Well, that's great. Well, what does that mean? Well, it's the same thing. Freshness is very, very important. And rooted spinach, when it comes to us in a perfect little bunch, it just shows that, you know, the root's been kept on. The plant knows that it's no longer getting a food source, but it doesn't start losing its flavour and freshness straight away.
Okay. So a bit of sort of draping of spinach.
Yeah, this is a very, very rustic. I'm trying to get some height.
That's looking good.
Some height. Now this is a beautiful moment to just dress this. Now this dressing's acidic. It's got soy in it. It's going to be absolutely insane. So we're going to layer this up in a very kind of chefy way. So every mouthful is delicious. I feel like we could have saved a little bit of budget here, Charlie, on the old spinach. We want the experience to be very special. Everyone at home, like, yeah.
I think it's a really good idea, sort of building the salad through the layers with the dressing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think often, you know, you create this beautiful salad, then you put the dressing on, and then someone around the table goes, "Oh, I'm just going to mix the salad up," and this beautiful salad you've created has just suddenly sort of become a car crash of everything else muddled in. And actually, this is a really beautiful way of preserving the presentation.
But look as well.
Yeah.
Vegan, without the parmesan. Vegan.
Yeah.
Obviously, definitely a bit of raw sliced beef there, not vegan. Let's get some beautiful courgettes on there. I'm going to save a bit off camera so that I can eat a little bit of that.
And then I can see you're being quite liberal with the dressing. It's all about lots of the dressing.
All about lots of the dressing.
And I suppose the acidity in there is going to also sort of have an effect with the courgette and the spinach and sort of cooking it, will it? Will it sort of cure it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It'll carry on that. That's why I didn't want to go to town. And then we'll just finish with some of this. All this food as well, like, I'm not too concerned about it looking like Michelin star plates. I mean, we're feeding people at home and want it to be big and exciting. And, you know, I love a big bowl of Caesar. I don't know about you guys at home. I don't know about you, Charlie. I love a big bowl of Caesar that looks quite scary. And you get into the parmesan, the anchovies, the grilled chicken, the iced leaves. And I want that with this. I want you to keep on going and not be like, oh, I paid £26 for this little piece of spinach that you very much get in some great restaurants. You know, where you want more, there's value here and there's bags of flavour. Okay?
Yes,
so,
dish 3 done. And
on we go.
Onto the cod, everyone at home. So I hope everyone at home is keeping up. Don't forget, you can press the space bar if you need to. There's always the instruction booklet if you need to follow along in that, or just pester Mike on the live chat.
So now would be a good time as well, guys. Talked about my oil. I always like to just get a little bit of a start at the beginning, because I can manage it, apart from when I'm flicking cold water into it, just to test. Now would be a good point to get about 400 ml of cooking oil. Again, rapeseed, whatever you do or don't do, about 300 to 400 ml. I've got 400 ml here in a nice wide pan because I like space and I don't like it to get too clumpy. That's going to be for the beans, for the tempura. So now would be
your oil hot.
Yeah.
Get your oil hot. And
I'm actually going to bring that over here so it's a bit more manageable for me.
Okay.
I'm going to turn that on.
Have you mastered the hobs now?
No.
No, okay. Well, there's always the next series.
Definitely not. No, that's one of my aims. That's where I want to be, Charlie. I want to be there. So,
I can see this hob here glowing bright. Oh lordy!
This is exactly what we just said. Okay, here we go. So that one would be on.
Okay, we
are.
Well done.
Do you know what? Maybe just, you know, I'm a dad of 2 now. Maybe I'm just getting to that moment where, I don't know, it's just that time in life.
Yes.
You're a dad of 2.
I am a dad of 2, yeah.
Do you find it tiring at times?
Oh, it has its moments.
It does have its moments.
But it's joyful.
I say it's 51% great, 45% tragic. For all the right and wrong reasons, you know. I'm very transparent as a person. It is the most delicious experience, but oof.
Yeah.
You know, it's challenging. Anyway, back to the food.
Yeah.
It can be even more challenging at times. Now, we're going to pop this out here like so. Look at that. Now,
this is this fabulous cod that's been marinating for 24, 48 hours.
Yep. Guys, get your cod out. Sounds very inviting, I know. Get your cod out now, and very, very much. If you haven't got the tongs, just throw it in a bowl. You literally just pour it out into a bowl. It's what I was going to do anyway. And wipe that. What's very important, Charlie, you've got a cloth there.
Yes.
You're so noisy today, aren't you? What's this? That's probably the water that affects in it.
Yeah.
Put that there. Safety first, guys. Handles in, oil on. Get it creaking. Being very disturbing in the background. Just feel that, Charlie. Tell me what you feel.
I feel firmness.
You feel firmness. And
Yeah.
what's going on there is the fact that you've got, in the miso, you've got salt, and we've got sake in here, and we've got mirin in here, which are fermented alcohol. And we've also got some rice wine vinegar in there. What it does is it takes about 20% of the exterior moisture out, a bit like Gravlax, so smoking salmon, firms it up, kind of semi-cooks it, but if you left it for about 5 days, it'd probably cook it through and you could just slice it like Gravlax.
That'd be worth
So
trying.
it does a job, but we don't allow it to go that far, so 48 hours max. Nobu do one which originally did the black cod originally, they do it for, they recommend 3 days minimum.
Wow.
With the black cod, and it firms it up so that when you put it in the oven, it's firm, crystallizes on the outside, gets that robata, the Japanese grill moment, where it's all like singed on the outside, slightly crispy, slightly burnt, and most forgiving. All those juices have been locked in the middle because of that cure. So very, very important. We got the ovens on at the beginning.
We did.
220, 230 if your oven goes there, and we're looking for about 10. I'm going to say 10 to 14 minutes. I'm going to pull it out and show you when I think it's ready, and how to guide you for when it's ready.
We'll
and
keep
the
an eye on
reason,
it. We've got about 10 minutes on the clock until
Yeah.
our hour is up. So
I need to hurry up
10
there.
minutes would be
I'm going to
great,
need.
wouldn't it?
I'm going to need the beans.
okay, the beans are back out of the fridge, and here they are.
I realised what that was for. That was for my beans.
Oh, that's for your beans.
Yeah. So now would be a good point while we're waiting for the oil to come up. So we would like the tray that you're going to put on, as not with Catalan and churros, and me just throwing straight into the sugar, but to have a nice draining tray just to get rid of that excess oil, and then we're going to toss them in the garnish. So a nice draining tray there.
Draining tray ready.
Oil is becoming hot, and now we will
Beans out of the fridge.
we will revisit the beans. Cold? We don't have a freezer, so if they're in the freezer and you've got fine bean ice cream, do send in your notes to Michael and let me know what it's like. We may put it on the menu if it's delicious. But so feel that, Charlie. Cold?
Yeah.
So really nice and cold. We just want that shock element. I'm going to put a tempura in here. You, Charlie, just the most incredible sous chef. Bring in my chili back and my garlic.
Yeah. Okay, so the flour mix, the tempura flour mix, into the bowl,
Yep.
into a dry bowl,
Dry bowl, and then we're
and
probably.
then we're going to pour in the chilled water from the beans.
Now you haven't asked Charlie yet, so I'm going to put in about what I think is 140. You still haven't said why did the beans have to go in the fridge as well, or do you think it's just because they're cold?
I don't know that. Why?
Well, we've saved another job. We've saved another job from
Which is?
getting them wet so that they stick.
Oh, I see, because you're going to dust them, are you?
Yeah. You know what, as well? We must have lost a lot of water, so I haven't drank any of this. We're going to add a little bit more water to that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because we've probably wasted some water on there. So if that happens,
The beans suck it up.
yeah, I don't know. I
So
don't know
if
what's
you need
happened there.
to, you guys at home, just add maybe a splash more water and have a look, and we'll get the consistency right.
I've just added about 30 ml extra to this, and that's, I want you to see that. So if you can see on the overhead cam now, you're looking for that moment, that beautiful moment of pancake batter.
Okay.
And just give it a good little mix, make sure there's no lumps in there. And then once you definitely can see, after about 30 seconds of whisking, don't whisk anymore. If you keep on whisking this, answering a text, someone's just give you a message on Instagram, and you're just getting carried away with yourselves, you're going to have a very tough batter.
Okay.
So do stop immediately. Beans go in. Now they're nice and wet, so the batter will stick. Magical tongs again, you can get your hands involved with this. Now all we want is a very, very light covering, Charlie. There's something about tempura as well that no matter, it can be the flour, the density, how it's stored, the water in this case, you've just got to know the end result and just add in a bit more water. It's once you get into flours and stuff like that, and cakes, as long as you know where you want to go. We're going to test the oil.
Yeah.
In we go with the tempura. That's what we want. What do we call that moment?
Sizzle, sizzle.
Sizzle, sizzle. There we go.
Sizzle.
So it's going to be a really nice moment. And then we're going to get our chili garlic crumb here, just while we're testing that. Get a spoon and try that. Tell me all about it.
Yes, please.
Not loads, because there's a bit of 5 spice in there. And it's meant to be the garnish to stick to the bean. A lot of beans. Don't go taking half of it. And talk to the people at home about that. What do you see?
Chili garlic. It's sort of like Szechuan, but without the sort of aniseedy notes.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Well,
maybe it does.
Well, you've got
aniseed in there.
Well, you're getting the aniseed. You're getting the star anise from the 5 spice.
Star anise. That's from the 5 spice.
So you're probably looking at this, saying, "Hey, why does he just turn the other hob on?" Number one, because that's what I do. And number two, why is he putting them in individual? Very, very important not to clump. As you can see how quick they are. As you put them in, you'll take them out.
One out.
Yeah, but you can just see them go golden. So as they go in, you want that hot oil as well. And I'll show you in a minute why we do this. And you're probably thinking, that looks like a lot of work. I'm just going to throw mine in. Well, you're not going to have the most beautiful tempura. And that's what we're offering to teach here. It takes work. In Japan, very sophisticated cooking at times. And they're very particular about their tempura.
Oh.
So
Quite fun when they sort of join together in sort of a matrimonial.
well, believe it or not, that's what I'm trying to avoid. So that can go there. Now just look. I don't know if you can see. We'll wait.
It's very light, isn't it? There's not much covering, which is great.
Well, that's what tempura is all about. Everyone has those moments at the chip shop when you're like, oh, I feel really grim afterwards. That's because you've probably just like literally eaten in solid form about 600 grams of oil in your batter.
Ooh,
Yeah. Pretty disgusting, to be honest. You know, if you go to a good fish and chips restaurant and they do it properly, they'll be using a similar technique as tempura.
Yeah.
Very light batter, a very delicate beer. If it's a beer batter with low sugar in, and all these things matter. But in this case, it's all about that reaction, which we'll show you in a minute, happening with the temperature of the hot oil and the cold. So I'm going to stop there because I'm enjoying myself too much.
Too much fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, guys at home, I mean, you know, sneak a bean, why don't you? Hot out of the pan.
So
It'll be delicious.
Look, this is what I'm talking about, guys.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that reaction. And when I talk about reaction, I'm talking about the fact that it's see-through. I'm talking about the fact that there's these little flares off the sun coming off. Yeah, and those happen with the coldness meeting the aggressive heat. So really cold, aggressive heat. What are you laughing at?
Oh, I don't know. the poetry, the culinary poetry.
I don't know. Do you know what? No, but that's you know, you've got to get people in the zone. You've got to get people understanding the importance.
Exactly.
Because I work in the 1%, not the 99, Charlie. That's what we taught to the chefs at Rocket and the cooks taught. You know, you want to be. Everyone's doing good. If you want to be the best, you've got to focus on the 1%.
Yeah.
Good technique.
That's
in life and in cooking.
You heard it. You heard it at home.
So you're like, this guy doing his 100 fine beans in 100 minutes. Well, if you want the best, that's what it takes. What Michelin stars are all about. Okay. Let's get some of that on the mic. Don't worry, not breastfeeding. Just a bit of mic moment. Hot beans into the crumb. In they go. Really
oil
crunchy.
off. Oil off.
Oil off.
Yeah.
Handle in.
Away.
There we go. And then the chili, it's back. Salt and pepper would not be. Salt and pepper, people are like, yeah, I've got some black pepper, we've got the vinegar. It's not that moment, guys. It's a semi-raw, semi-toasted chili with a spring onion, salt and pepper. The salt is in the 5 spice, in the crumb that we've just put in the base. And there's a bit of 5 spice in there. And the pepper is literally chili pepper. That's why it's usually like chili pepper, not black pepper. And just because it's got that, I like that tacky flavour of the semi-cooked raw garlic. It just adds a perfume. And it is tacky, but it adds that strength that I'm looking for. Adds that, you know, that moment of what people will relate to. I had the worst salt and pepper kind of squid and salt and pepper chicken, salt and pepper chips growing up as a teenager. That's why we learned to love. We give it a little toss.
That's a good mix.
Look at that. Listen, hear that crunch, crunch, crunch. That's the moment that we want. I'm into my chili pepper, can you tell?
You pile it high.
Pile it high. In there we go. Just going to say it, these are really, really good.
They look really good.
Really worked out today, Charlie.
Yeah. Don't hold back at home. Start eating them now whilst they're hot.
Smell as well. That smell.
Yeah.
Bang. Get that.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. And that spring onion, that chili, all doing its jazz, all doing its work. Everyone working together in the name of flavour. It's there. The cod's looking delicious.
So this dish?
This is salt and pepper, fine beans with toasted chili, spring onion with a 5 spice. beautiful sesame onion crust.
Done.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Okay. So last dish of the day.
1 minute. I reckon we just start getting everything ready and pull it.
Well, let's start clearing things down, shall we?
These sauces, guys, if you've got this at home, we've done it for a reason, so you can revisit it. Get the salad out tomorrow. Get your prawns out the freezer. Relive the moment.
Yeah.
Use these dressings. All the recipes will be sent.
And
Enjoy the moment.
whilst we're just waiting for that minute, I'm going to take a brief moment just to thank everyone, because it's the end of our summer series, and we just want to say a big thank you, first of all, to everyone here at Event Concept, the team, the production team, who have been working with us over the last almost a year on A Cook's Tour. So a big thank you to all you guys. And of course to the team at Rocket, who have been scrambled to form A Cook's Tour during this pandemic.
Legends.
Absolute legends, from
Absolute
the kitchen,
legends.
the marketing department, the decks department, the dispatch department, customer service. You're all absolute heroes, and a huge thank you to all you guys. We've got to thank the chefs. We've
Yeah.
had Tommy Myers,
We've had
Calvin von Niebel, Angela Hartnett,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, Marianne Lum. So huge thanks to all the amazing chefs and partners, whether it's with food, drink, or wine or cocktails, such as the wonderful Johan, who's been with us this evening. And of course, thank you to this man, who's hiding sort of over there behind the oven, trying to get out his miso cod, for being such a great cook, tutor to us all.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure. And to you, Charlie.
Whoa, thank you.
Man of the moment, the sous chef of dreams, the avocado rosa from the Far East, the incredible man. So thank you, and thank you for the studio here and all the guys here and everyone involved really to Rocket, and it's not forever gone. We will be back with a bang.
We will do in the autumn. And our last thanks, of course, goes to everyone at home. For those joining us for a first time, welcome and thank you for being here. But a special thanks to those of you who have joined us for not one, not two, not three, but maybe a dozen, maybe all 18 of our destinations over the course of the last 9 months. Thank you very much. It has been a tough year for everyone working in hospitality. It's been a very dark experience for us all, but thank God the light has been on at Rocket, and thank you, because you've been a big part in making sure that we are still doing what we love doing. And on that note, here we have the miso cod.
It's delicious.
Are you happy?
It's good. I'm very happy, yeah.
Good.
And here we have it. Look at
Here
this.
we have it.
Charlie, you're such a good host, I mean, I'm pretty good with words that half exist and just generally talking, as you guys have known, but come on. Very well spoken, very well said. Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to get a little bit carried away as well with this cress again, because I really like it. And I think this little number, just dance a little bit of cress on there again, adds a little bit of freshness, a little bit of spice. The cod is just one of those things for me, you just let it do its thing. It's like, hey, I'm miso cod, I'm here, I'm alone, and I'm fine. Leave it to its flavour. Delicious, 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 delicious. Ready to go.
okay, so for the last time, what have we got? Wrap us up.
So we have the incredible onglet with some toasted goma, coriander and lotus root crisp. We have the incredible centre stage for me, the one that you just couldn't miss out on any Japanese menu, miso cod. Beautifully cured, beautiful. The Rocket Cook's Tour Ryanism wouldn't be the same without the salt and pepper moment. So we've done salt and pepper beans, banging season right now, delicious. The parmesan, courgette, yuzu, truffle, extravaganza, don't know what to call it, the salad of dreams, half warm, half cold. There you have it. Did we talk about the avocado? The avocado rose, with every rose under the sun. So if you've got one of those roses, you're winning. Finish with a ponzu, salsa, garden radishes, eat your heart out.
And to complete, of course, we've got the Yuzu and Wild Rose Martini. Well, there we go.
Do we?
Well,
For another one.
I think it's time for another one, Johan. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful summer holiday, and we will see you again in the autumn. Cheers.